You're listening to the Multifamily Market Watch for Washington State. Apartment owners who need to know, trust HFO, the leading source for multifamily industry news around the state, from Puget Sound to the Tri-Cities.
Welcome back to HFO's Multifamily Market Watch for Washington State. It's Monday, September 26th. I'm your host, HFO broker Aaron Kirk Douglas. Here's some news you may have missed since our last news update 2 weeks ago. We have the latest economic report from the Washington Multifamily Housing Association's annual apartment update. There is a new report on the Washington apartment market from the University of Washington. Phase 2 of the Home in Tacoma project is now getting underway. HFO's podcasts are co-sponsored by Butler Exchange Group, experts in 1031 tax-free multifamily property exchanges. Now on to our news briefing. The Washington Multifamily Housing Association held its annual apartment update earlier this month. The update featured a presentation by Matthew Gardner of Windermere Economics, who made some key predictions about the year ahead. Chief among them was his prediction that the country would enter a minor recession beginning the last quarter of 2022, and he expects it will last through 2023. Gardner says unemployment will bump from the current 3.7% to around 5% at that time. He also predicted moderating inflation with prices slow to recede in the coming months. The Washington Employment Services Department forecasts strong employment growth for the rest of this year and slower growth next year. The percentage of new jobs in 2022 ranges from a high of 3.2% in Seattle to a low of 1.7% in Tacoma. The 2023 employment forecast anticipates Puget Sound's job growth of 1 to 1.8%. Washington State's population is on the upswing with nearly 8 million residents. Washington is the nation's 13th most populous state. Over the past decade, it has averaged an additional 100,000 residents every year. The population increases are primarily the result of in-migration. From 2021 to 2022, King, Pierce, and Snohomish counties added the most people. A semi-annual report from the Washington apartment market from the University of Washington found average vacancy rates in Puget Sound of 3.8%. Phase 2 of the Home in Tacoma project is getting underway. Home in Tacoma is the city's new housing growth vision created to support missing middle housing. Tacoma has hired a consultant to lead the planning efforts, with opportunities for public engagement starting soon. Phase 2 of the Home in Tacoma project will allow the public to review the residential zoning and standards changes. Those changes include strengthened design standards, development of an anti-displacement strategy, enhancement of regulatory affordability tools, actions to make sure infrastructure and services can support growth, efforts to address the demolition of older structures, steps to create green, sustainable, and climate-resilient housing, a review of the permitting process, and education and support for developers and the public. A developer of a 199-unit apartment community near the Tacoma Dome has opted out of the city's offer to receive a 4-year property tax exemption for providing some affordable units. The builder, Great Expectations LLC, said soaring costs have forced it to change its plan to keep the project alive. The developer said inflation and rising interest rates resulted in an estimated completion price of $54 million, which was up from $30 million a year earlier. Tacoma Power and water consumers might see increases in their bills if a proposed rate hike is approved. The proposed power increases include 3.9% for residential users, with water rate increases pegged at 4.2%. Those requests will be finalized by the Tacoma Public Utilities Board this week, and the board is expected to seek final approval from the Tacoma City Council in November. Median rents in Tacoma are $1,250 for a one-bedroom and about $1,600 for a two-bedroom. That data came from Rent.com. and indicates average rents were up 8% for a two-bedroom apartment in Tacoma year over year, with rents up 5% in the north end and down 14% in the south end. ApartmentList.com says average rent in the United States has recently climbed past $2,000 a month for the first time. In Portland, Oregon, the editorial board of the Oregonian newspaper published a Sunday editorial against rent control and instead calling on the state to establish housing production targets and work toward meeting those goals, including providing additional funding for housing. It also called on neighborhoods to accept denser infill. CoStar reports a slowdown of apartment construction on the horizon after apartment starts hit their highest level in decades in August. Apartment and condo starts reached the highest level in 36 years last month, but building permit applications fell the same month by more than 18%. Multi-Housing News reports that with income in the rental market peaking, investors are starting to take another look at 55-plus communities. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, the number of households with residents 65 and older is expected to grow by more than 16 million people by 2030. That will nearly double to 30 million people by 2060, when the demographic will represent nearly 25% of the U.S. population. Thanks for listening. We'll be back in 2 weeks with a new edition of Multifamily Market Watch. Be sure to watch for the special interviews being released throughout the month. Upcoming interviews include Tacoma Housing Authority Landlord Relations Specialist Alexis Eichel and experts from Tacoma Public Utilities with the latest on energy incentives. In the coming week, I'll also release an interview with Ryan McKinster from the Washington Multifamily Housing Association. Also, don't miss our HFO TV videos on our website and our YouTube channel, where we feature in-depth interviews with newsmakers of interest. New this week is an interview with Nolan Gray, author of the book Arbitrary Lines: How Zoning Broke the American City and How to Fix It.
Our entire office specializes in multifamily real estate, making HFO the largest multifamily brokerage in the Pacific Northwest. Your success is our passion. Build your legacy with HFO. Call 206-705-5115 or visit our website at hfore.com for more information. HFO is an affiliate of the Global Real Estate Advisor Network.